And we're live. What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? Let's see, we got MR here. Neil's on Dynasty. I saw Nickel there for a little bit. You know, he might have been going off and playing with the sports stuff again. So, welcome, Frostbyte. Welcome, LLC.
What's going on? Hey, Chew, what's up?
Hey,
What's going on,
Chew.
guys?
So we decided to start a question and answer session based upon what's going on in our world as it is right now, and I want to propose the following question to you all. And everybody's allowed to have their own opinion. I'm totally cool with whatever. Just let me know what you think and how you want to how you feel about the subject. But basically, the question is as follows. With the hello, Lulu Lucky Stacker, welcome. With the current state of affairs, with Trump wanting to make us all, hi Amy, make us all the crypto capital of the world, and Musk owning Dogecoin, and a lot of stackers are not so much crypto lovers, but things are changing in the world. What's your stance on this? Is it changing? Is it not changing? Hey, Jack Gallman, is it changing? Is it not changing? What's your ideas? And everyone bring in, what you think is best for you. Hi, Cheryl. So, feel free to add into the chat where exactly you fit with all this.
How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. So just so you're aware, we are streaming on 3 different channels. So if you come over to Frosties or over to Tigers or over to Long Live, it's going to be the same discussion. The person coordinating the stream is Tiger Stacker. So if you want to be where that is, you're more than welcome to go over there. We're going to be monitoring the other 2 channels just in case other people come in. But again, we'll tell you what channel they're coming from. And if we do any giveaways, we'll send you over to the right channel to make sure you're a part of that. All right.
Hey, Neil, son, I'm not here.
Well, we're glad you're not here, Neil. It sounds terrible, doesn't it?
That's horrible.
So let's go ahead and break into this discussion. Tiger called us and said, hey, I'm interested in doing this. Kind of want to talk about it. We kind of hammered out some discussion items, and it's like, well, what are your thoughts on crypto? And all 3 of us kind of have different ideas of what crypto is. We wanted to have a generalized discussion and say, it just kind of open. Again, we're not financial experts. None of us are crypto experts. We do have friends that are in the field that understand crypto. We have friends that are in the finance realm. Stackers, we have collectors, but all of us are, or should be, if we're not are, should be concerned with diversification of portfolios. So the question is it right for you? Is Frosty pulling another all-nighter? Maybe. You never know. I don't have to work tomorrow, so we'll see. If I do, these guys will be joining me for part 2 because I'll have a different way of streaming it. We'll get going. So got some fun ideas planned. But again, thanks for coming in, Roxille. I appreciate you being here. What's going on, MR? How you doing? Thanks for being a channel member. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for coming over, MR.
So let's go ahead and turn it over to Tiger. So Tiger, let's start off with you. You're the one that came up with the idea. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on crypto, and where do you think it's going? What do you think? I mean, do you want to tell people what you and I have done and what we've talked about? And how do you want to address this?
I'm not the biggest crypto lover in the world, but I am one of the most inquisitive people I know. and I have paid attention to everything that's crossed my eyes and ears about crypto. Oh, by the way, Nickel, love you to death, man. But I don't think, honestly, based upon what I saw on a video from local silver mint, to me, he's proven to me that the government owns Bitcoin. So I don't really quite follow that because following the patents and everything, it looks like it's owned by the government. So the question is this, are they playing this thing both sides towards the middle, saying, this is outside the system, so we have to regulate it, blah 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 blah, getting people who are anti-government this and anti-government that to want to buy into it as a lead in to CBDCs, which is one of my thoughts about the whole thing. Yes, a little bit of a conspiracy theory. Um, is it really outside the system? What is it? So I am in the mindset, being that I am a scientist. Yes, I'm a doctor, but you have to be a scientist before you get into medicine. So I am experimenting, and not that I expect that I will win big time. Actually, I'm expecting to lose big time, but I'm doing it all for you guys as well as for myself, because I want to be able to share with you all what I'm experiencing. And I'm not putting big money into it. I'm just putting a little bit of money into it just so I can keep my eyes on it. Because if I don't have a little bit invested, I'm not going to watch it. Just same with platinum and palladium. I have just a little bit invested. Otherwise, I don't watch it. I have a little bit of osmium that I gave to my wife for earrings, so I watch it. Otherwise, I don't watch it. So, that's where I'm at with it. For me, it's a need to experiment, to test the water, and to take my findings and report my findings for all of us in the stacking community. So that's where my thought process comes in. If I win big time, what am I going to do? I'm going to get out and I'm going to get some more of this stuff. So, what's your take on it, Frosty?
Well, before I go with my discussion, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Long Lived.
Okay, welcome in, What Are the Possibilities? Yeah, we're all live streaming on our own channel. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna just jump in, and I kind of got to give my background because I came at this in kind of an odd way. And so I kind of came into gold and silver and investing in this type of thing early on, and it was more from a moral aspect as a money-making aspect. So I was viewing the world and I was seeing there was a lot of lies being told. And then I met someone who was talking about the lies within the monetary system, and that lined up with everything for me. And I told me about silver and gold. And so I started getting into silver and gold. And of course, Bitcoin was a topic then. This is about 2017. And, I thought about getting into it, but from my viewpoint of how I was seeing things, I was noticing that a lot of the lies that were in the world were probably connected to the monetary system and all this money out of thin air going into society can cause problems. And looking back, also, I look into ancient coins and looking into history and the falls of empires and the winding down or the debasement of currencies, like you've seen in Rome. You also see a lot of hysteria and crazy actions like the tulip bubble and such. And so, since I was viewing the monetary system in this way, when I look at Bitcoin and knew that the white paper came out in 2009, just after the 2008 financial crash, it made a lot of sense to me that this would be someone behind closed doors. Yeah, they might have called him Yakamoto Satoshi or whatever his name was. but I felt like it was something government related, CIA type of a thing where they're going to try to pump this up and get people into it. As people see the monetary system dying, they're going to run into lots of different things. And if you got a crypto that's running up into high value, a lot of people are going to pile into that, and that's going to keep them out of things that are really important, like gold and silver. And so that's how I viewed it, and that's kind of still how I view it. And so I think that yes, it can go up in value, and money can be made off of it for sure. Even then, I told my friends that you can definitely make money off of it. I personally would pull some of my gains off as you make it and put it into something more sure, like gold or silver. But that's just my opinion, as I think, it could, I think it still can even go up in value right now. But at some point, you can definitely have the rug pulled out from under you, and or just have all your value online, and they may lock it up and say, well, we can only roll it into a CBDC now for you, and otherwise we can't use it any longer, or something to that effect. So I don't want to have all my interests tied up online to where I have to jump through whatever hoop they lay in front of me, is kind of my take on it. But I'll leave it at that for a starter.
Well, and that's the reason that I had you go first is because, and we talked a little bit about before this, before we went live. And I've got to tell you, back in the day when I had the opportunity to mine Bitcoin, when it was just, tenths of pennies on the dollar, I kicked myself for not having done that. It's like, oh, that'll never go anywhere, whatever. So was it a missed opportunity? Yes. But again, it's one of those things where, I've had missed opportunities in almost every sector. Had the opportunity to buy land, bought land, went into the military, sold it early, paid for a house. 10 years later, the plot of land that I sold for $35,000 was worth, 1.1 million. So it doesn't really matter what sector you're in. You have the opportunity to make decisions that get burned anyway. But what you stated, and I've been looking at things in chat about it being backed by nothing. That is the problem that I have. Now, with that, we talk about diversification of portfolios. Do I think Bitcoin's a bad thing? And I'm going to say no. And this is where my advent on it is, with a caveat. It might not be right for me. I don't own any positions in Bitcoin. I don't own any positions in Doge. Now, Tiger and I are working on something. We're looking at something. I am going to be buying some positions in Doge. And the reason that I'm buying positions in Doge is because Tiger and I are looking at something speculative. We want to see what's going to happen. It's not a recommendation for anybody else to do. This is something that Tiger and I are doing mano a mano. Him and I, we're delaying the purchase on this. He's already purchased it. I'm going to buy it later. We're going to look at the speculation, see what happened, and see where we are. The money's been set aside. If I lose it, I lose it. If I gain it, I gain it. But again, the same thing that Tiger's talking about. When I get to a certain point, I'm going to relieve myself of that location. If I can get to the point to where I'm playing with, quote unquote, the house's money, anybody who gambles knows what that means, then I will take that money, invest it into silver and gold, and then play with the house's money from there on out. That way, if I suffer any loss, the net is zero. So you can do it. You can do it to where you can see or realize a gain. But again, it's all speculative risk. And so we understand that. But there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. So when Tiger did this, you guys know me, I'm the research guy. This is what I like to do. And I wanted to talk about a couple different things with Bitcoin. So when I look at Bitcoin, I recently had a discussion, put a video out, had a live on it regarding the state of Texas, and looking at legislation to install Bitcoin into the economy. So basically, what they would do is Bitcoin would utilize this along with Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania proposed the bill initially. And what they would do is they would take this money and be able to utilize this for purposes of paying your taxes, donations, whatever. If you get fines or things of that nature, you can pay it against using crypto. It sits in this pool for 5 years. And at that point, it becomes open to appropriation. They can sell it and transfer the money accordingly. It becomes a hedge. Now, I have a problem with this simply because of the volatility of not just Bitcoin, but crypto in general. We talk about silver and gold, the volatility that's embedded into that. There's more volatility in silver than there is gold, but there's far more volatility in Bitcoin and crypto than there is in silver. And so, how, as a government, do you base a budget off of that? Now, people who are experts can tell you all about preemptive modeling and all that other stuff that I don't understand. But I don't understand how you do that. How do I balance? How do I budget? How do I plan for my retirement if I have no idea where it's going to end up or no idea what's going to go on? So I think it's important to diversify your portfolio. I think in this particular case, Texas is doing a good thing by doing this. So in this case, yes, I am for Bitcoin. Now I'm going to talk the flip side. And being an IT person, being a person who, as a person who does this for a living, not Bitcoin, not just pure IT, but I deal with information systems within the medical realm. And so security is a massive issue for me. In 2024, $1.3 billion has been stolen from Korea or by Korea. all of it has been in crypto. And it estimated that 61% of the total funds that have been stolen across the board have been through crypto. I have a massive problem with that. We're talking about something that's one and zeros. Doesn't matter how secure it is. If somebody cracks that algorithm, they can wipe you out of it really clearly. Wow. Now, I'm going to stop there and I'm going to go back to something LLC stated regarding the potential. And I'm going to say the potential because it's not proven. I don't care what anybody has said. I'm still going to call it hypothetical that the government actually owns this. I haven't seen definitive proof. I don't care what patents say. They can take over a patent, not a big deal. I want to actually see it. But what I really want to ask is if they take this, now long lived, you mentioned CBDCs, and they transfer this money into a CBDC, and then how do we manage it? How do we control it? Because they can basically lock it up. What do we do in a situation like that? If we do invest in it and the government decides that they want to lock it up, what do we do in that case?
Yeah, that's kind of the way that's right. I mean, that's kind of something that's out of your hands suddenly. I mean, where do you address that? Where do you go to address that? Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Tiger, what about you? What are your thoughts on that?
Run that question by me again. I'm setting up the charts.
Okay. So if you have crypto,
yeah.
Okay. So we talk about like this Texas legislation that says after 5 years, they can move this either into another crypto account. They can buy other crypto. They can do that, or they can actually transfer this to another asset if they wanted to. But it has to be in there 5 years, up or down, no matter what happened. Before they can't touch it. They can't do anything against it. Mm-hmm. They can't appropriate it. But if it goes to this other one, what's preventing anybody else, including yourself, from them just taking it over and now saying that they own it from you?
Yeah, I don't trust that. I trust them as long as those 5 years go on starting on 5 year and 1 day, my trust is gone. That's where I'm at. I mean, how many times have you seen governments mismanage money? Whether it's a state, whether it's the Fed, whether it's some other country, how many times have you seen governments say, well, we're going to move this money? That they're not moving their own money. They're moving money that they took from the people, and they're not asking the owners, the people, for permission to do whatever with their money. So, as long as they say, we're not going to do this for 5 years, okay, I'm going to trust that until the 5 years and 1 day starts, or until they break their promise, which they have a tendency to do. Nickel himself said it 100% of the time. They feel they don't have a responsibility to the citizens about taking their money and doing whatever they darn well please with it. So yeah, I just I don't trust them. Not unless there's accountability and complete transparency.
Yeah, to me, it's a it's a trap being set up to pull people in. And even if it wasn't, like, if you look at it even just really logically, it's not good to have, you might could put a little speculation in there, but it's not good to have, all of your money tied up in something like that can just be locked up or not accessible. Suddenly the computer's down for whatever reason, or that's just, I don't know, that's a possibility. And it's like people don't even take that into account now some of the time. It's like, oh, that just couldn't happen. It's like, well, it could.
And it does.
Right.
And it does. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's complete mismanagement, and they're not being held accountable for managing someone else's money. Why in the world should they be allowed to do that? It's like, if you two entrust me to watch your money and I totally waste it on whatever I damn well please, I'm going to be held accountable. Why can't they be held accountable?
Well, and Tiger, and you and I have talked about this. There's issues, and I see two issues here. This is going to get mildly political, not overly political, so I want to keep it nice. And when I talk about this, I'm not bashing any additional country. I'm actually just wanting to provide some insight. Remember what's happening. Yeah, there's not many people chatting over at my channel, and I'm looking at data, so I'm not chatting much over there. So if you want to join more people, come over to the Tiger channel's chat. I'm fine with that. We just want to give people opportunities to come in wherever and then figure out how to get to where they're going.
One little side note before you leave Frosty's channel, please hit the like.
And if you're not subscribed, do so, please. I am so close to 5,000. I can taste it. Oh, it's so close.
Anybody here who's not subscribed to Frosty, please go subscribe. You want to stay there, you want to come back, but go over there. He needs to get to 5K.
Welcome in, Silver and Cigars.
Hey, Silver and Cigars, welcome.
I want to talk about something that happened between 1965 and 1985. Tiger and I have talked about this quite a bit, and the thing that I'm referencing is the social and economic situation in the Soviet Union during that time frame. So between 65 and 85, there was a confidence trick with money that was put into place. And what this confidence trick was a policy of trying to stimulate the productivity by raising wages, increasing the supplies. But what that ended up doing is it actually increased not only the money and wage, but everything else associated with it. Sound familiar? It should, because we're seeing the same thing here.
Yep. No, yeah. And even in other cultures and other same thing. I mean, you can, through several empires falling, you can see these types of things pop up. Things like even the tulip craze, which is even ridiculous, right? But I mean, yeah.
What's up, Blue Moon B? Thanks for popping in, smashing that like button. So one of the things about that, and again, I'm not referencing directly the Soviet era economics to the United States right now, but there are some parallels, some similarities, and the different tools that are being utilized in doing this. So you got to be really careful. Can I put Tiger's link in chat? Yeah, give me just a second. Let me pull that up. Sorry, I should have done
Red
that
silver.
before. Hmm. Do.
Love you too, Moonbee.
All right, let me copy this. Okay, now I have that open.
Don't tell Long Live Coins we got a second B in here. He's kind of jealous. He likes to steal the show and be the king of the stage.
A B.
There you go. There's his link right there. Actually, I'm going to pin that.
Ah, the Blue Moon B. I see. I've seen him before trying to get in on the B action, huh? Blue Moon B. Good to see you.
He's like, oh, shush. All right. So let's get back into this. So one of the things that happened was the price controls that the Soviet system put in had some definite issues. And it led to instabilities. And it led to instabilities within a whole bunch of different regions. Now, in medical was one issue because as they increased the wages, the shortages began to, or the prices began to increase, meaning that less people were producing certain items. So it was kind of that people had to get it, but there weren't as many because production costs were high. So it was that trickle down effect. So that as they raised those items, then the demand went up, but the amount of goods were continuing to decline. Because they declined, there were things that happened. There were lower quality diets would lead to bad health. There were increases in the prices of like used cars. We see that now. A used car is almost as much as a brand new car was 2 years ago. Absolutely amazing. The prices, the living conditions. Now there it's a little bit different because here their homes are, they're producing more homes, they're doing that kind of stuff. Well, what's happening is you're getting more and more difficult conditions. There's not a whole lot of space. You're sitting in situations where the consumer couldn't really find the things they wanted to buy because the prices were so high that they were forced essentially to either invest or to save their money. And a lot of people are talking about savings, save. You're hearing this in the banking industry. You're hearing this in general areas. And what it's becoming is what they call a forced saving. Now, the forced saving is good in some facts, but it's definitely good for the government, bad for the population. The problem is if that goes on long enough, then the money's being held. The government needs to pull that. And that's exactly what happened in the economic crash of Soviet Russia. And people woke up one morning and they just said, hey, we don't have the money. Everybody's got that up. The government had access to everything. Everybody was saving their money. And they just reached into the banks and pulled their money. And what happened? Overnight, people who were quite wealthy woke up to not even being able to buy bread. The million rubles that were in there were now, instead of it being equivalent to $600,000 or $700,000, it was now being equivalent to 30 or 40. So people basically lost their lives, their entire livelihoods in that time frame. Now, why am I referencing this in relation to where we are now? We're seeing very similar situations that are happening that are parallel, and we need to be careful. We need to watch this. Now, I'm not tying our nation into MLZB raid. Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, MLZB. Hey, Jenny, sweetheart.
Jenny, sweetheart.
Appreciate you coming over and showing Tiger some love. That's awesome. But one thing that's really important about understanding this is um, all of their assets were tied up in banks, right? So the only people who actually maintained any wealth were those people who actually held onto their currency, which even the currency itself lost value, but those that held silver and gold. And so, again, why am I for crypto? It's good if you have time to management. Now, I told these two gentlemen the thing about money is I don't want to be working to manage my money. I don't want to. I don't want my money to be my daily job. There are people out there that can do that. That's fine. I want to know where my money's at. I want to know how my money's working. I want to be able to shift and maneuver my money, but I don't want to spend my entire day focusing, watching stock prices, checking things out, looking at crypto prices, going back and forth, buying, selling. I'm not a short seller. I'm not a day trader. I don't like doing that kind of stuff. And so this doesn't work for me. Crypto doesn't work for me. You got to stay on it, buy high, sell, or buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. You got to play those big cycles, and that's how you're going to gain money in this. When you realize profits, invest those profits into things like silver and gold. You talked about osmium earlier and stuff like that, right? That's when you take your profits and that's what you invest in. But I don't want to make this my daily job. So I don't do that. I have my 401k and I have my Roth IRA and all that stuff that's managed by entities. And when I get to a certain point, then yes, I'm going to be pulling some of that stuff out, realizing those profit gains and making sure that if something does happen, I don't experience a devastational loss should that get sucked out of my account. So I do want to watch some of this stuff. So Tiger, let's go ahead and show your chart. You got that up now. Let's talk about what's there.
Okay.
Hey, my number two. Good day.
Gremlin, welcome. And thank you for being a member. Merry Christmas to you too. So let me go through this. I first decided I'm going to play an experiment. So I thought, okay, I lost before in crypto, but with Elon owning Doge, with Trump wanting to turn us into the crypto capital of the world, I decided I'm going to just put a little bit in, not a whole lot, and certainly only enough that I'm willing to lose. Wifey wasn't so happy with it, but she wasn't so happy with my decision to get into silver and gold until I showed her later. And thank you, Yankee, for talking to her. So basically, when I first got into Dogecoin, I bought that for about $500. This is from the beginning of the time frame. I put this all in starting in 2017 for all these graphs. You can see you get the initial jump up, everybody's interested, and it comes down. This most recently, this was 2024, when I don't know when Elon Musk bought it, but it went up. Then I said, okay, I'm going to go to Bitcoin because it's the most popular, and it had the same thing. Popped up, came down, popped up even higher. And I think this is mainly because you got Trump wanting to turn us into the crypto capital of the world. Then I went to the second biggest one, which is Ethereum. And you can see it popped up early because it was a new thing. In my opinion, it was the reason why. And it popped up again for the same reason, in my opinion. Then I had a little talk with Stacking Surfer, and he said, if you're going to do this experiment, include XRP, because that's what they're thinking about turning to make this CBDC. So I put another bunch into there, and once again you have the initial pop-up. Now you have a huge pop-up, mainly because I think they're trying to push the CBDC. So, well, I'll give you that, Nickel. He did want votes. Of course, he wanted votes. I mean, that's the name of the game. You can't get the job unless you get the votes. But he has a tendency to keep more of his promises than most people. So anyway, so as I'm looking at this, I'm looking at, okay, I don't really put all my faith in all this stuff, and I certainly don't understand blockchain technology, and I certainly, I have trouble um, with computers. That's why Frosty sits back and giggles at me as he walks me through all these things. My brother-in-law, God bless him, he tolerates me and my lack of abilities. But this old dog does learn new tricks sometimes. But the point I'm trying to make is, even someone who's technologically challenged, such as myself, I can still see the pattern that there might be a temporary increase. And in my opinion, if the Trump administration does good, the cryptos are going to do good. The Trump administration comes down, the cryptos are going to come down. That's my own personal opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you all what to do, but you can all do what you think is best for you. However, if we bring this to the forefront, that's why I want to continue to. If I win, I'm going into gold and silver. This is the same time frame basically, and what's happened with silver and what's happened with gold. There is still somewhat of a jump in the basic same time frames, but the point I'm trying to point out here is maybe this is a temporary thing with crypto, maybe it's not, and I'm willing to experiment so that I can share with all of you what I'm noticing in my little world. And if it teaches all of you, hey, this is not right for me, this is right for me, then I'm doing my job as a content creator. So that's my point on it.
Well, one thing that I want to point out is I want to go back up to a statement that Nickel made. John Hanna gifted 5 memberships. Thanks, John Hanna. Starika, Roxilla, Brenda Shank, 3D Woodworks, and Oregon Stacker. Thanks so much, John Hanna, for the gifting. Much appreciated. Make sure you guys are doing that over at Tigers as well. But I do
Thank you for
appreciate
that.
the support. And I want to talk about something. He said, no way, in order for Trump to meet all of his promises, he would need 16 years. I want to tell you guys a story. There was an attorney who died, and he was in purgatory. While he was in purgatory, Satan and God were standing there, and they both were presenting their case for whether or not they wanted to go to heaven or whether they wanted to go to hell. And God stood there and showed the pearly gates, opened it up, and there were people singing and smiling and praying and having a good time and just sitting there. It was very quiet, very peaceful, very reminiscent of just this really nice, solid, quiet, steady state. And he was like, interesting. This looks like it's going to be really good. So he looks at Saint and he says, hey, what's going on here? And he says, well, let me show you. And it flips it open, and there's this beautiful like bar and people laughing and drinking and having a great time, and just beautiful scenery, beautiful marble countertops, and this really neat stuff in the background. And he's like opens the back doors, and there's this beautiful beach and this gorgeous scenery, and people are laughing and celebrating and having a wonderful time. Looks at God, and he says, screw it, I'm going to hell. It looks like fun. And so he's like, okay. And he says, is that your decision? He says, my decision is done. So he signs a document, and boom. And as soon as he gets there, it's hellfire damnation. People are screaming, cussing. And he goes, whoa, what gives? He said, well, let me tell you something. He said, that was the buildup. That was the political discussion. That was the advertisement. That was the race, the political race, so to speak. Welcome to reality. The purpose behind that story is that everybody wants this top story, top of the world, best news interest. They want to produce the best results. And so everybody's going to generate what is supposed to be this beautiful picture. But I'll tell you what, out of the candidates that were there, I'm going to look at the person who's the businessman who has a proven track history of a proven economy. Now, that's all I'm going to say about politics. But I do agree with you, Nickel, in that if he was to accomplish all of the tasks, he would need 16 or 20 years. So how do you do this? Well, you can only get some of them done. But I'll tell you what, if we can get through a third of the promises that were made and some of the ideals that were made and get some of the crap that we've had to deal with the last 4 years resolved, I'll consider it a huge win. I don't care if it isn't all done. I'll consider it a huge win because we can back a businessman. We can back growing our economy. We can back taking a couple different risks for long-term gain. Now, the question is, will that be sustainable? Well, I'll give you a warning. Republicans are going to be very gung-ho right now. We got the presidency and we've got the legislative branch. We've got to be careful because if they get overzealous, we can get a nasty taste in our mouth very quickly and put ourselves in a situation where nobody's happy with what's going on.
Well,
Right?
that's the point I've made to a lot of other people.
Yeah, we've got to be very careful because
Democrats
are overzealous to do different plans. We need balance, and a lot of people are like, "No, I will not do anything democratic." Well, you have to understand there's got to be balance in order for our nation to be better. We have to have a happy mix of the two. We have to, and I know there's a lot of people. I'm going to piss a lot of people off that ride the red or the blue line, but you have to have a balance of each. That's why we have checks and balances. That's why we have those things put into place. The issue here is we need to work on the items that are in charge, the items that are put in our charge, excuse me, and quit worrying about he said, she said bullshit, excuse me, and start dealing with the facts. That's what matters, right? Now, what I have, plan B is always important. But what's important here, hey, Steve, what's going on? Good to see you, brother.
Hey, Steve, welcome.
What's important here is that as we look at this, okay, so we're talking crypto. You got a couple people up here that are willing to test it. One who's like, nope, I don't go for it. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not going to jump all over it. It's not something that I'm really interested in. But I think in certain scenarios, in certain situations, it's good. If you have the time, the money, the effort, and the resources, then you can make it work. You really can. For the general populace of America, I think it's an opportunity to get burned. That's my standpoint on this. So I would urge caution. This is why we talk. I mean, I would recommend numismatics over crypto any day.
I would agree with that.
But I'm okay with slow growth, slow, steady growth, right? The turtle won the race. A lot of times it doesn't matter if you won the race, they just finish it. You guys know I do triathlon. My goal is never to win. It's always just to finish. And that's my ultimate goal. If you give everything and you crash out halfway through the race, then what did you do for yourself? So I'm really about making sure that I finish the race, that I work smartly, put those smart plans together and make sure that I understand. Again, if you have the tools and the resources to do crypto, you can balance it. You're okay with watching it, knowing what's going on, and you can do that accordingly, then by all means, enjoy it. But it's just not for everybody.
Chuck, I agree with what you're saying. For me, it's just an issue that I want to test it.
Tiger, real quick, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Pin OC Stacker's comment. That's the wisest comment that's been put in chat so far tonight. Do not risk what you can't afford to lose.
And that's exactly what I did. I was
Yep.
willing to lose that amount of money, and I was willing to lose that amount of money so that I can show people that most of us are right about that. I honestly think crypto is going to shoot up. Then I'm going to jump off ship like a scared little rat and buy more silver and gold before it starts firing back down. But I honestly think it's going to go up or down based on the Trump administration wanting us to be the crypto capital of the world. But that's my own theory. I don't uh, I don't tell anybody to follow my advice. You do you, I do me. Wifey's not happy that I'm doing this experiment, but she understands. But on the other side of the coin, with me watching this as a non-techie, non-computer person, um, I can then report it to the community what I'm noticing. And then when crypto, well, I'll just point it out to you. Let me just put it this way. This is my chart here. Let me get rid of this comment here so I can show everything.
So before you go there, let me break this down for. Can I break this down for everybody? I told you I wanted to do this. No, I want you to have that up.
Okay.
Well, let me explain to everybody. First off, if you don't understand this, don't worry about it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a Excel person, and Tiger, you're going to want to increase the font size on this so people can see it. It's kind of hard to read. So you're going to want to increase the font just a little bit on this, just so that people can see. There you go. You see a little bit better now. But I want to make sure that people don't freak out when you're going, oh my God, this is this Excel. There's so much data. I'm no good at this. Don't freak out about that. Don't freak out about that.
No, this is just a me thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what he's showing you here is an opportunity for you, because this is what I'm talking about. If you have the time and the tools and the resources and you want to look at this, and this is the stuff that you like to do, this is a great resource for you. But for those of you who hate mathing, for those of you who can't stand tracking and monitoring this, I do this all day, every day with my work. I do not want to come home and have to deal with this crap. I don't want to do this, right? I honor Tiger. I love Tiger for his ability to track and monitor and document what he buys and what he stacks. And I always recommend go talk to him. He's the person to do this. I need to get more organized. I just don't have time to do that. I got more important things than putting labels on coins. I just have time to do that. He does. And if you really want to know how to do that, I want you to pay attention to what he's about to show you, because this is really important. Now, Nickel says, I leave no paper trail. Here's the important thing. And you'll hear OC stackers here. You'll hear surfers say the same thing. You'll hear Yankees say the same thing. You'll want to track and document this in paper form, because if something happens electronically, you're going to need to make sure you have good, solid assets and know where your money is and how much you have in each location. If I recommend anything, keep your billing statements, your bank accounts, any kind of loans, the amount you have on your house. Keep your annual statements, keep them every 6 months or so, update your documents, make sure you have those. But I want you to pay attention to what he's doing here, because this is, if you were good with this and you like this kind of stuff, there's a lot of good information that can come from what Tiger's about to show you.
Okay. So basically, can you guys see my cursor where I'm moving it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So right here is when I bought in, the date I bought in and what the price per share was. And I bought basically about $500. I don't know why it was 512 or whatever, computer crap. So the current share when I last checked it was this. So in this case, it just recently dropped in most of them. I went from like 120% down to 83%. Ethereum, I bought at this price. It currently is this. I'm staying about what I bought it for. Bitcoin, I bought at this price. and it's currently at that price when I last checked it. So I'm at 6% up, and with XRP I bought at this price and I'm at 95%. So basically or 90%. So basically I'm at 95% for all four, simply because Bitcoin pulled it up. So that's where I'm at now. If you compare it to the mining four stocks that I've done, I've lost a good bit with Gold Mining Group, or Gold Royalty Group, that GROY. I've lost with Gold Mining. Now uranium has been much more impressive. Uranium royalty has done significantly better than gold royalty, and the uranium mining is done significantly better, and that's what's pulled my overall up of 136%. The point I'm trying to make is this: now in mining, I'm willing to sit on this because it's physical and it's going to go up when SHTF goes up, and people are going to want more gold out of the ground. Uranium, I think, is really going to shoot, because if we become independent completely, then we're going to be wanting to produce our own uranium for our own. Yeah, Nickel, I understand that, but I'm also a contrarian where it comes to the cold comes to the miners, and that's kind of where I'm at with that. The point I'm trying to make is crap. Point I'm trying to make is this: is that I am willing to take that risk and bring it up to speed with mining. And I'm using the crypto just recently dropped. Before, everything was up, but that's how volatile that whole system is. Like I said, no, bring it up here again. It goes up and down way faster, way faster than silver. And I don't mind throwing in a little bit of money that I'm willing to lose, so that I can show it to the community what I'm experiencing. I can't really speak to the whole computerized, blockchain technology, but I can speak to you all about what I've experienced to help our community, and I'm willing to lose a little bit of money on that just to help everyone out. So, enough said about that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Are you calling me Forest Tiger?
Run.
Run, Forest, run.
It's a Tiger. It's like, run those numbers, Tiger, run. But again, it's important to understand where you're at. And like OC Stacker said before, don't, and I say this, gamble your money, right? So make decisions. And a lot of people do this. And this is what I had to learn the hard way. I've had the opportunity to make some really good investments. I've got good advice from people that I had the opportunity to learn from, and they've told me to make decisions. And I was like, I just don't feel like that's a good idea. It just doesn't sound good to me. And I lost some great opportunities. I was told when I sold my land not to sell my land because it should, and the other person that I bought it with says, do not sell it. I promise you, if you'll just wait, we'll be making way more money, because they're talking about building some other stuff here. There was a 10 or 15-year plan. I didn't want to wait 10 or 15 years. And now he is a multimillionaire, and I'm scraping every month to make ends meet. So I've had great opportunities to listen to smarter people, but chose not to. Here's the thing. I'm not asking you to listen to me for financial advice. What I'm asking you to do is to take a look at the information and make educated decisions. The information that I'm giving you is based off of the mistakes that I've made, that I didn't get in when I should have, and I got in when I shouldn't have. Right. So I've always been running late, always been running behind, never really on point. I am not the person to follow. But what I can give you is I can give you information on how not to do certain things so that when you start doing some research and you start identifying, hey, there's some questions, and I listened to Frosty and he said he made a mistake doing this. Let me go find out some people who have actually done this and succeeded at it and get opinions from them. I don't know, Long Live, I think you and I were talking about this a while back. Is it wise to ask your neighbor for financial advice?
No, but I would like to hear from you guys. You know, like kind of the way I was viewing it from a kind of a moral stance. What do you guys think about the president kind of pushing it himself? Like, if we all kind of, I think all three of us see and understand why we would be being pushed towards a crypto, because we understand what's going on in the monetary system a little bit. But, you know, I, my own self, made the decision that I didn't want to participate in making money off of crypto because I felt like I would be making money off the enslavement of the world. And so, but now if I take that and look at it and look at, wow, look at what the government has decided to do here, because they know what situation they're in. How do you guys, I mean, do you think that, like you said, don't gamble? Well, what is that what's going on? Are we gambling as a nation now on a whole bigger scale? I mean, does anybody else see the kind of what, I don't know what the word is, the ironicness of this, or what would you say? I don't know.
Well, so I want to address something first off. Barbara Wall, Warren Buffett lives in very modest means. He doesn't live in $1 million mansion. He lives in a $30,000 house that he bought 40 years ago. Warren Buffett's decision and stance on crypto, I'll talk about that in just a minute. I want to address that. I would be in Warren Buffett. I live in a nicer neighborhood than Warren Buffett does. We'll talk about that. The echo is on Long Lived. I think you have two mics open.
See, I heard that early on. That's what I was talking about, but I don't have anything else open here that it could be. Do
you have an external mic?
Yes.
Go in and check your Streamlabs and see if your other mic is on.
Okay.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
Advice.
So as far as is it morally ethical for the president or for?
Well, like, how do you think that they're trying to save the people, or are they saying, let's see if we can suck a little bit more out of them? Do you think that they're ultimately trying to put them into something safer, or don't we all see that to me, they're asking them to go into something that's a lot more even unstable than what we got coming probably in the dollar, which is not going to be very stable. So I don't know. I'm surprised that they don't, they didn't push gold, which would be a much more solid base in my understanding of things. But
I personally think it's a combination of things. I think it is exactly what Nichols said, trying to get votes. And I think that when Trump saw, what it is able to do, he invested in it, and people investing after he invested, he'll probably do well with it. But the thing is that because I don't trust it, and because I'm a scientist, and because I'm inquisitive, that's why I'm doing the test. That's my approach to it. I want to test it. I want to report it. I want to give you all an idea. But I think that the reason that the other people are doing it is because, they wanted to get votes and they wanted to make money. I mean, that's why the rich get richer. They know how to make money. I know how to work hard. They know how to work smart.
So here's talking about the moral and ethical aspect of this, is it a plan for them to make more money based off of the decisions of America? Right? We look at the history of the last few years. How many senators or House people do we have that are in office that went in making on an average, having a net worth of 20, 30, 50, $100,000, and now their net worth is 8, 10, 12, 15 million.
Yep.
Okay. So from that aspect, we know it's an issue, right? We've seen it.
Yeah, and their salary is
Very
only
well documented, right? So we know there's that issue that is inherent. We know that it's present. Do I think that this is the only reason? Now, if you look at the United States goal for crypto in the next few years, their goal is 100 billion or something like 1 million Bitcoin or whatever that number is. They basically want to own 40% of Bitcoin. That's from some of the numbers that I saw. That was the United States goal in growing Bitcoin. So, in that standpoint, do I think that they are looking at manipulating the United States to kind of fool them or take their money? No. I think they're trying to do it to do what a businessman would do, which is get quick revenue, invest in something, become one of the majority shareholders in a specific item. Then you can help control the direction of it. I think when you look at cryptocurrencies in general, there are inherent security risks. I think that they're looking at ways to protect that. I think they're looking at ways to protect their investment, but they want ownership. They want control over it. What are the inherent problems with that? Well, when you look at the information of the trying to think of what it's. I've read Neil's comments and now my math is all wonky. I might not be exact on that, Neil.
Bad Neil.
No, it's okay. I just read his comment, and again, it's the general number. But I'm not stooped in this like everybody else is. I'm just reading some stuff off. Unfortunately, I read that and got squirreled. But do I think they're morally and ethically leading us in the wrong direction? The answer is no, I don't. Now, do I think that there are little plays that are happening? Do I think that there are congressional pockets that are utilizing this and being able to manipulate this to benefit their own need? Absolutely. And we see this in a lot of different areas. One of the things that I had, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this, Tiger knows this, I talked to him in depth about this. I've actually petitioned for members of Congress to actually come on the channel and talk about their bills. I haven't heard any comment yet. Now, we are off season. They are not on. It is the Christmas season. I don't expect to hear a lot of information during this time frame. I'm hoping that I hear something around the first part of January. I'm even thinking about taking a trip ahead Austin to go actually sit down and talk with these people and kind of find out more about it and let them know why I'm interested and what I want to present to not only their constituents, but actually talk about some of these items, because I think there are some really good potentials here to balance. I think Texas has a really good idea of what they're doing. I think they have a great opportunity to do so. So do I think that the president getting behind this and saying, hey, here's our plan, here's some strategy, Texas getting on board saying, hey, we think it's a good idea. They have time, they have resources, they have management. I think that it would be really good for us to be able to look at some of that stuff. And yes, I would love to sit down and talk with Senator Cruz or Senator Caprioli or the House of Representative member who created the gold and silver backing one, Representative Durazio. I would love to be able to talk with one of those and talk with them about their proposals and what their ideas are and what security things they have in place, and really get some more in-depth understanding. Because if you look at some of the policies that were written monitoring the Pennsylvania, they duplicated the Pennsylvania-based study. It was written in such a loose language that there's a lot of room for change, quote unquote, manipulation. And so there are some questions that I would want to ask, some very difficult questions that I would want to ask regarding what happens at that 5-year mark. How is the generalized Texan or the Pennsylvanian secure from having these types of issues? Do I think that we are having issues with them manipulating us? No. But I think the hard issues have to be asked, and I think those questions have to be discussed. I think people that are in the chat that are answering these things look at what's happening with some of the different channels and the discussions they're having, some of the concerns. I think that we need these representatives. This is a call for the representatives if they happen to watch the channel, or if there are people that happen to be looking at this who understand what's going on and they hear this, go back. Hey, do me a favor, Long Live. Can you press mute, please? Just to see what happens. See if that goes away. If that doesn't go away, then we might have active mics on. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah, mute the channel unless you have it open. But again, I don't think that they're necessarily manipulating us. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to look at the crap situation our current economic status is in, looking at where we are, and looking at the business availability that's there. How do we manage? How do we overcome some of these issues? How do we fight this hyperinflation? How do we do this without going into deflation? I don't know the answers to that, so I wouldn't be able to speak to those things. But I definitely think that there are some advents that need to be addressed, and we need to look at those. Let me do this, and
Yeah, so I had it muted that whole time. I think I was still hearing feedback though.
so let me check this. Does that sound better to you guys?
Yeah, you sound more powerful.
Okay. Did the echo go away?
I can still hear it a little bit.
Okay.
It seems a little better.
I don't hear it. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. I don't hear it.
Yeah, it might have been me. So we'll see.
Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting. I just see that, like, I wish that there would be more. Oh, and I get, maybe you can't just do this, but I was surprised to see, like, it just seems to me that they're keeping the hype going. It just goes along more of they're not worried about keeping the strong support under us. Like I was saying before, they seem to be kicking the legs out from underneath the table of the USA. And this is just one more thing that I don't hold confidence towards. Like, if they would have said, oh, we're going to start maybe backing more with gold, but crypto that just seems like we're going a little further down over the cliff now. But that's just my take.
Okay. Yeah, it might have been mine. Sorry. Again, there are pros and cons about crypto, right? And I'm not telling people that crypto's bad. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that I have concerns with it. But in the right hands, even a tool that's not a very good one can be put to good use. So there are two major businessmen in our country right now, like them or not, that have raised billion-dollar empires. And then you have other people who want to run and instill and install programs, and they have zero understanding of economic structure. And they're barely millionaires, if you can even call them that. Who would you side more with for running the economic structure of our nation? And I guess that's the question that needs to be asked, right? So yeah, granted, I get it. We may not like some of the stuff that's happening, but from an economic standpoint, who's better suited to do this? And I don't know. We'll see.
I'd like Ron Paul in there, but he's getting a little long in the tooth as well. So, but yeah, that's the last person I heard. That's the last person that probably brought up gold in a long time that I know of.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. What do you mean by long in the tooth? I've heard that phrase before, but I don't know what
It means it's like an old country phrase that means you're getting old. You used to check a horse you check his teeth to see how old it is. And if a horse is getting old, they might say, "Ooh, he's getting a little long in the tooth there."
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, I learned something out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. We got an echo going all night. I'm not sure what the problem is. I made sure I muted all my side stuff, so I can't figure it out either.
I've closed all my additional resources, and we'll check and see if that improves anything. I don't think it was. I'm not sure what the setting is. Tiger, do you have any other windows open?
Not that are sounded. Hold on a second. Let me look real quick.
I even shut my secondary mic off and went back to my laptop to make sure it wasn't that. So
yeah, that's the exact same thing I did, and found out that I was using my camera speaker.
Nothing that is on that's sounded. But I'm going to turn myself off. Now watch it be me. It's always me. Hold on.
go ahead and talk for a little bit there, Frostbyte. What do you got something to say?
So Coach now says he doesn't hear an echo.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
I don't hear an echo anymore either. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he has something on in the background.
Yep, something with Tigers is on in the back.
Yeah, I think you have something on in the background. Go check and see if you have a YouTube thing open in the background, and if you do, I know you want to look at your analytics, but shut your YouTube stuff off. You may have 2 StreamYards open, so check for a secondary StreamYard too. Yeah, but it might have been mine as well. I did have the wrong microphone on, so I was probably adding to the problem, but the echo is definitely coming from Tiger.
See, he always blames me. Always blames
no, because as soon as you came back up, the echo came back on.
Yeah. Is the echo now?
Yep.
Okay, I'll go look again.
So did I tell you guys, and I probably already said this in somebody's, did I tell you guys that Frosty the Snowman got kicked out of HEB? HEB is our grocery store here.
Oh, yeah? How's that?
Store manager came up to him and says, "Hey, you can't be rummaging through that carrot." And he says, "What? You're telling me I can't pick my nose in your store?"
How about now? Is that any better?
I don't hear anything right now.
Yeah, I don't hear anything either. Sounds good at the moment.
I don't know what I did, but I did something.
And this is why I consider Tiger one of my more technical friends.
It's all Amy Harrell's fault. Blame it on Amy. I'm tired.
We'll blame it on. We'll blame it on the pause. Yeah, but going back to your question, LLC, I don't think they're utilizing it to manipulate America. I understand the pros and cons of utilizing crypto. Same with utilizing the stock market. It's really not much different. So I think there are concerns. I think there are some precautions and things that need to be put into place. I would love to see some administrative and some legislative rules put into place to prevent them from utilizing and stating something months ahead of time, owning it, and then seeing massive repercussions or economic benefits on that end, which we've seen in the past, right? they go buy this company, and then for 6 months they talk about how good it's going to be. The prices go through the roof, and then they sell out. Prices tank.
Draw.
Americans are screwed, and they're left with
Yep.
millions of dollars in their pocket.
Right.
So I do think protections like that need to be put into place. I think that there are certain laws and regulations, but what they are and what they look like, I'm not smart enough to say.
Yeah, now along that lines, this is I just got to throw it out there since we're so close to that subject, is the David Rogers Webb book and the Great Taking. And he is actually now in a few states, he has state backing, and they're putting bills through on basically his book about the Great Taking, and they're trying to change that language so that if somehow a switch gets flipped and we have another 2008 type of moment where we have, a system infrastructure, monetary system breakdown, everything right now, as it's stated, everything would go into the bank's ownership. But if these bills go through that he's passing, it will remain in the owner's hands instead of being transferred to the bank in the midst of a crisis type event. So that's a roots up thing that should be good. And he's got I don't remember the name of it, but if you look up David Rogers Webb and the Great Taking, he's done a few interviews lately, and they have a type of GoFundMe open now for him and some of the lawyers working on this. So I think that's something that's smart to get behind, because it's waking the states up to kind of the system that's in play right now and the possibility that there's fraud going on there. So I think that's something to pay attention to.
Now, one thing I want to address is there was a discussion, something that I was talking with somebody at work about. Dan Root says, I'm in Canada and can't trade my cryptos, and Beyonce, it's banned. China-based item, March 17th, 2022, Beyonce confirmed it was undertaking through the Ontario Securities Foundation or Commission, whichever one. I think it's the OSF or the OFC, that they would stop opening new accounts and halt trading for any users in or around the Ontario area. In 2023, I think that extended all the way through Canada. And so, well, it's because Tiger's thing is back on. So yeah, they blocked that off, but there's a reason behind that. And the guy that had been fined whatever amount of money it was, at the same time, there were the 3 major players that were busted for crypto defrauding. The one dude from China, that $1 billion dude, is back, and he played big on this particular item. So they've locked it up. There's other countries that have locked it up too. Is this
Yeah,
still
and I
happening?
do want to point out, and I think we would all agree. I mean, this to me is another confirmation point that I'm not completely off base on watching the monetary system, and that the things that I think are going on, because I don't think that would be something that they would be pushing right now if it wasn't so. The Bitcoin or any crypto being something that, to go in, like he's pumping it, saying, we need to be the leader in this, and us being the reserve currency. I mean, that's kind of, you wouldn't want to come out and front run yourself on that one unless, you already are aware that there's issues there.
For those of you that are interested in that Binance situation, I've posted a thing to Reuters talking about the pulling out of Canada, as well as something they did within the UK. I don't know if the UK is listed in that particular article, but if you want to know more about that, that has been listed there. Again, I was talking to somebody about this at work, ironically, today. So I just happen to have this article handy. So. 1, 2. I'm not sure what that means.
I think he's putting on a headset in 3, 2, 1. So now do we still have an echo? I don't hear one.
I don't hear an echo.
That seemed to take care of it, Tiger.
I think he's getting feedback between his mic and his keyboard. He does have an ID10T error. That's the shortcut between the seat and the keyboard. Have you ever seen that? Do you guys know what an ID10T error is? Have you guys ever seen that?
I do not know.
I'm going to put it in chat.
That's what I was wondering, Tiger. Is that a joke?
There's the ID10T. Did you catch that?
I'm not seeing. Oh, ID10T.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
got
put
an. I got an.
Let me
answer
put it
for
all
that.
together.
Identity. Stack and Silver. Hello, hello. Good to see you.
That fixes it.
Idioto.
Yeah, I always tell people that Tiger has a short circuit between the seat and the keyboard.
What? What did he say? Where'd he go? What?
All in good, friend. Oh, by the way, how many of you are members to my channel? If you're a member, there's a video there. You should go see.
Smart ass.
Hey, Tiger. Dun, dun, dun.
You just wait.
Oh.
You just wait until I show up at your doorstep.
Yeah, you guys. So for those of you who aren't aware, it's a members only video. I did this for Tiger's benefit, but
You
Tiger
did it for
happened
your
to-
own benefit.
Tiger happened to have dozed off.
Well, you were
I
boring me
kind
to
of
death.
recorded of it. Played a little lullaby music, and was like, "Hey, Tiger, hey, buddy, come on, time to get up. We got to go live."
What he's not telling you. No, he's being a politician. He's only telling you part of the story. We're going to get him a Democratic. We're going to give him a Kamala Harris hat.
Oh.
So what he's telling you is, I'm waiting there for us to get to the next stage of doing the live stream. He's off typing, doing this and typing, doing that, and he's multitasking, and he's getting things ready for the live, and he's doing a couple other things. You know, look at him fibbing. Look at him fibbing.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you how this really went
we're
down.
going to call him Kamala Frosty. So
No, let's talk about how this really went down.
Well, I was waiting for you. And
Tiger and I were in the middle of a conversation, and he just disappeared. I was like, "Tiger, hey, Tiger, are you there?" I'm like, "Oh, he might have to step away." Tiger, and I hear, I was like, "Tiger." So I get on, and Steve and them are on, and I text Matt, and I said, "I think Tiger fell asleep while I was talking to him. I'm going to record it." He's like, "Do it." Record it and post it. I'm like, "I'm going to play some lullaby stuff." We were in the middle of a conversation. Now I want you to know that when Tiger woke up, he didn't even realize we were in a conversation.
Well, you try working my hours and see what happens.
I had walked away. Yeah, it was hilarious. But again, no, this is what brothers do. We pick on each other.
Oh, by the way,
You love having long-winded conversations with yourself. Yes, I do. I actually do. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's why he put me to sleep. No, actually, I was on the stream with them running races last night, trying to keep myself awake so I could pack up and move to the next hospital. And I tormented Matt about it and says, "What? He said, Frosty's a snitch."
Hey, you got it. You guys, this is what community is, right? My wife doesn't understand this, but there's many men out there that understand exactly why I did what I did. Because again, it's a lot of fun. And I only did that because I'm friends and I support. Ooh, Dan Root.
Dan,
Dan
Wow.
Root, thank you so much for the $20 super chat.
this is very
Happy
nice.
holidays to you too.
Outstanding. Happy
Thank you
holidays,
so
Dan.
much.
Thank you so
Holidays
much.
indeed. Merry Christmas.
Way to support
Happy
Tiger.
New
That's
Year.
awesome. Neil Hahn, question. What would the effect, if any, be if it was uncovered that China had been funding the population numbers for years and we only have 800 million? Um, 800 million of what? I might have missed something.
OC thinks he's got jokes.
I noticed that.
What is this?
No dose fund for Tiger.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna have to clarify for me, Neil. I'm not tracking that question totally. I do have jokes. Hey, Sean, I got a really cool thing for you. Here in a few weeks, I'm going to be doing a series of coins on the Panama Canal. I'm going to be talking about some of that stuff. You're going to have to stay tuned.
That was one of the prettiest places I've been is Panama. Woo! Had a good time in Panama. Beautiful.
Was that before or after you got married?
I'm not going to answer that one.
Oh, instead of
Okay.
1.4 billion. It wouldn't surprise me at all, Neil. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Just like some of their numbers when they're talking about what they've purchased as far as silver and gold. That wouldn't surprise me at all. We'll find out, though. I'm sure that they've been manipulating those numbers for quite some time. Yeah, it's going to be hard to see.
Now, I looked up something while you all were talking about people making money while in office. Just wanted to prove the point here. This is the net worth of Obama allegedly before becoming a president. This is his net worth now. So just to get the point across, where's it?
That was not all in your pension? All in his pension?
They're not supposed to have that much of a pension.
No, I don't think so.
Something's happened to my screen. I've lost a lot of the controls. Rusty,
So
did you do something to my screen?
What is Joe Biden's net worth right now?
Oh, let me go look that up.
Red Silver says he's hacked you, and that's what's going on with your problematic issues, Tiger.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
The only hack Tiger knows how to deal with is a cough.
Well, I'm a doctor. That's what I was trained in.
So anyway, a few years ago, he was worth about $500,000. Now he's worth between 7 and 9, or between in 2020 he was between 7 and 9 million. Him and his wife now have a total estimate of about 15 million. So in 6 years, they went and improved their net worth by what, 9 billion, $10 billion, $1 million dollars. Million, M, not B, M. Yeah. So again, we talk about this. Senators, we see this in the House of Representatives. We see some of that stuff. We look at some of the basic information that's there. Yeah, it's unreal. Let's see some of the numbers that are there. But it's not just, and again, I'm not saying that. I won't say that there's devious things happening there. That's for you guys to make up your own mind on. But it's ironic how many people go in and have a little bit of money, and then all of a sudden they come out of office and they're multimillionaires.
Mm-hmm.
So, just curious. Yeah. So, well, we won't get into the whole the pardoning and spending thing. I won't even go into that. That's not. Yeah, Ronald Smith. That's exactly right. Inside information on stocks. This is where the manipulation in businesses, and it's illegal. I mean, if you were an entity, a business entity, and you traded insider information, you're going to jail. Why aren't these politicians? Because that's all this is inside information. Because they're dealing with government contracts. They're dealing with these billion-dollar contracts, Lockheed, Boeing, all this other stuff, and then they're buying these big entities, Honeywell, right? All this kind of stuff. So it's inside information. So, oh man, we don't want to even talk about
That's so true.
I won't mention that person's name at all. I won't I won't even say the name.
Hello, Joyce.
Yeah. What's up, Joyce? How are you? Good to see you.
Hello, Joyce.
So, but I hope everybody's doing good. You guys, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us and chatting.
I appreciate it.
We just wanted to get together and do this. I don't know how much longer you want to stay on, or if there's anything that you want to do.
Well, I do want to at least introduce the topic of the New Year's parties.
Absolutely.
Frosty has a 12-hour planned New Year's party, and I've got one also. I want to be on when he's on. I'd like for him to be up when I'm up. LLC, if you want to come visit us, please do. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to be giving away for the different things, subscribers and members and all that. If I do reach the miracle of 2,000 subscribers by the time the live stream is on, I'll be adding a 5-ounce port silver bar to the giveaways as a thank you for getting up to 2,000.
Okay, so I want to stop you right now because I have put something nice in as well, and I need you guys. My goal is to help support Tiger. Okay, and I'm gonna send a message to Yankee as well because I want Yankee to jump in on this. Yankee, if you're listening quietly in the trenches, I have offered, yep, exactly, Red Silver, a 10th ounce gold. We can get him to 2,000 by New Year's Eve, midnight, when we cancel the stream.
Are you really sure you want to do that?
We'll get you there. I only need 31 to 5K. I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be giving out. My goal is just, I need 31 more subs. I'll get more than that during the stream. It's going to be a long stream. We've got a lot of cool guests on. I've got a lot of fun stuff happening. Tiger and we've talked about this before, but nobody has any idea what I mean by it. Tiger and I are going to be dropping some news. So we want you guys to make sure you're around for that. We got a bunch of giveaways. Like we're going to be giving away at a minimum of 40 items during this. I've already got these laid out. I kind of talked with Tiger a little bit about it. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. So you're definitely going to want to be there. Now, I don't want to dominate everybody's day. We're going to start at noon. We're going to run to midnight. But I want you bouncing in and out. I want you going to other people. That's a pageant. You spelled it wrong. I'm having a pageant. I want you guys bouncing in and other people's channels, right? There's a lot of different people going to be doing some stuff, but I do want to be clear. I'm not going into New Year's Day. I was originally going to do a 24 noon to noon. However, there is something that happens every New Year's Day, and that is Everyday Opportunities extravaganza, right? That is something I will not step over. I will not cross that line. They do that every year. Tons and tons of silver going to be given away on that one. So make sure that you're doing that. But yeah, we're gonna be supporting the channel. Again, we're gonna be dropping some really cool information. I think you guys are gonna really like some of the things that are happening. So check it out. And Long Live Coins over there zooming in on stuff. I like that little zoom feature. That's pretty cool.
I need a good backdrop. LLC, I offered to pay you to build me a backdrop because I'm never home anyway. But if that offer still stands, if you ever want to,
show me the money. Yeah, man.
Do you want it? Do you want it in fiat or metals?
Metals. No. Yeah, no, yeah, we'll try. We can work something out. Just hit me up.
That works for me.
Yeah, red silver. The problem with green screening with silver on top is that you get this hazy stuff around it. You're better to have a nice display where you can do this because you don't get like if you look at me very closely, you'll see that I kind of have this hazy stuff in my hair. And I don't have my lighting turned up like I should because my eyeballs. Excuse me, my lighting should be so much brighter so that this goes away. I'll give you guys a quick example what I mean by that. I know my lighting is done through my phone. I love it. So if I want to remove that I am turning up like significant, then all the lighting goes away. This is extremely hard on my eyes, so I don't do this, but you want solid, clear images. You got to have tons and tons and tons of light. With a green screen and putting coins directly on the green screen, you get this haze, and you'll eventually have the coin will fade away. It's really, really, really hard to do. And so, yeah, you got to be careful with doing that. Yeah,
that was my backdrop for a while. Was my green screen. You can see what it did to the silver sword.
Yeah. So you've got to be very careful with that. I have ordered non-reflective glasses, and they came in broke. They had snapped right in the center, so I had to send them back. But I have ordered replacement glasses for that. I've also ordered dark screens to go over it, non-reflective dark screens to actually eliminate some of that too. But I have to have these after my eye surgery. I got to turn this down. This is way too bright. I have light sensitivity issues, so I have to have a much softer look so that it doesn't burn my eyes because I'll get massive headaches and stuff after they did my eye surgery. I see much better, but I just have this eye sensitivity that I have to worry about. So this is why I wear these glasses. Not because I'm trying to be cool, but if I do this, I can't read close. So I need these to be able to read the screen. So anyway, let's...
Are you sure that's what it was?
Sure, what, huh?
Sure that's what happened to your eyes?
100%. That's what happens when you get 3 types of cataracts. Not sure what that is.
Anybody else have
Mo poking you in the eyes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
Anybody else have little floaties in their eye?
All the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think everybody does.
Do you know that they only last for a couple hours at a time and they'll change positions as the fluid in your eyeball moves?
Oh, I actually
Yeah,
watch
no,
them.
yeah.
I actually watch them move around the room.
Yep, it's like I can watch little birds flying. If you close your eye right, it makes it fly like a bird flapping its wings, kind of.
Yep. I play games with mine sometimes. try to throw them in certain areas. See how fast I can do it.
But getting back to what I was saying, there's going to be giveaways for subscribers, members, mods. And if I get to 2,000, I'm going to put up a poured piece of silver, probably one of my silver bars that I've made. I'm going to try working on making a whole lot more silver during my next 2 weeks that I have free.
Very cool. So do you guys want to continue a different conversation?
I'm always up for that.
Okay. Do you want to change venues, or do you want to just continue?
Let's see
I'll leave it
here.
to you guys.
OC Stacker says sure.
So let's do this. Let's put some items that you guys would like to talk about. We can continue here, or we can frostbite in September, November, cataracts remove 1 hour was more painful. Yeah, light sensitivity. I can see really, really well. It's a pain in the butt. OC, with the way I do it, Tiger won't have any echoing because I will remove his ability to have echoes. But we'll definitely increase viewing.
Sorry to hear that, 3D.
Say again?
Oh, 3D Woodwork says his furnace took a dump. He was getting ready to do some pouring or something, but his furnace went down on him. So.
Oh, 3D
Oh,
Woodworks. My furnace went kaplooey on me. I ended up selling the parts to Supreme Ginger Stacker because he wanted parts for when his goes kaplooey. I got a new furnace from a totally different company. 2 Auto is based out of China. Could you imagine the tech support I got for that? I bought my furnace from New York, and they promised me to be there for me whenever I need whatever help. So I don't know where Reckless gets his furnace from. By the way, he's amazing. If you haven't seen his work,
Yeah, they
he's
do good
just
work.
amazing. I thought it was just him. Is Reckless like a group of guys?
Well, I mean, no, I don't know. You have to ask him. Oh, speaking of Reckless, how is Jerry doing? Tiger's going to get a kick out of this.
I love him. Well, I'll tell you what, Reckless, if you ever are willing to teach, I don't mind paying a little tuition to improve my skill set. Just food for thought.
Always here for the Fairy Queen. Stop crying now. What's going on, Stuart? How are you doing?
Goodness, Coin Dude said he had a tumor in the back of one eye and a cataract in the other. Doesn't sound.
No, that's not fun.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not fun at all.
Reckless is like, I will never give away my secrets.
Did he say that?
That's another dude right there. Hey, Angry, what's going on? Oh, you guys want to see something really cool? All right. So I got some packages in from Angry. Check these things out. I love this damn thing. This thing is so freaking cool.
Oh wow, that is cool. Yeah, 3D. Most everybody's over at Tiger's channel. We're all streaming to our own channels though, so you're welcome to hop over to Tiger if you would like.
So I won that one. And I have this one. This one's a little dark, but I like this one.
That is nice.
Never retreat, never surrender. I got the big boy of this one. All I need now is I think it's the 2.5 ouncer, and then I have all 4 of those in sizes.
Well, I didn't know they came in different sizes.
Yeah, he's got 3 or 4 sizes. And then
Ugh.
Tiger gave me this one for Christmas. That's Second Amendment one. That thing's badass.
It is.
That is badass. But
Well, that's cool.
my favorite piece that I got from Angry, I love this piece. Reckless, I'm going to open up that Trump bar and show that Trump bar too. That Trump bar is badass. This is my favorite piece. Well, not really. I have another piece that it's already locked up. It's a Viking.
Oh, wow, look at that. I really like that one.
It is nice.
That's my favorite right there.
That's 4.2 ounces right there.
That's pretty sick, I must admit.
Yeah,
Badass.
that's amazing.
Yeah, he does some amazing work.
Who is
My
that? Who is that
favorite,
again?
Angry Warrior.
Okay. Very
My
good work,
favorite piece
Angry
is
Warrior.
I think it's already downstairs hidden. I think it's already put away. Yeah, it's already put away. I secured it in my my storage area. I would have to go pick it up tomorrow if I want to go get it. But it's a 9 or 10 ounce dual ship that was designed by Florida Metal Detecting, and oh man, that piece is badass. But Reckless does some amazing stuff.
He does.
Don't know or haven't followed, you got to go check Reckless out. They do some really, really cool stuff. Some of their stuff is mediocre, but you know.
God.
Hey, he'd pick on me. I got to pick on him if I can. But this is the piece. I got so much stuff here. This is the piece I want to show you. I like. Look at that. Right here. I'm not cutting it out of the package because he sealed it. But this is the Trump bar.
Yeah, you pointed that out to me, and then I go to Hold Reckless, and you let me buy one of those too.
Yeah, it's a good piece. It's 100 grams, I think, that piece. Really nice. He does amazing. He does great work. I got a couple of his other pieces sitting here. But yeah, fun stuff. He does great work. So go check them out too. And Reckless, drop your do you have your link in there? He may not be able to drop his link. Let me drop his channel in there. Or one of the mods can reach out and grab Reckless's stuff. And Reckless isn't far away from 1,000 subs.
Yeah, he's doing good.
There you go. Throw that in there. Go check out Sub Up Reckless. And we'll see if we can do what we can to get him to 1,000 subs as well. So, yeah, but they do some stuff. Go check out the Shrek and Rex show. They do a lot of cool stuff there. You can take me off. I don't need to be up there anymore.
Okay.
January. Awesome. Yeah, no worries, man. Hey, you got to give credit where credit is due. And, you know, people who do good work, you got to point them out. So
They do good work.
Yep.
And you know, the Trump bar, I really like it. It's beautiful in its simplicity.
You guys needed to do more design ships. Do some more like ghost ship stuff.
Hey, and Marsh, welcome in.
Ghost ships are good. Airplanes are better.
You see my dad joke? Said I saw an ad in the shop window, said television for sale, $1 volume stuck on full. I thought I can't turn that down.
Oh, shoot. Oh my goodness.
I love my dad joke.
Do you come up with all those on your own, or
No, some of them this is just a bot that I found that you pull in and it reaches out. Some of them I know, but it's a simple bar. We do more sandcast than simple bars, but we try to hit stackers and collectors. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, you need to do something like a pirate ghost ship skull bar kind of thing. It'd be really cool. And I'm a ship dude, so
1, 2, 3 sub-directless metal, 4 sub-directless metal. He's got to be getting close now. We got a bunch of subs here. Thanks, guys.
very cool.
and one
Very
other
cool.
thing about subs, if you don't do something else, there's a good chance YouTube will take away your sub. So if you go in, comment on a video, hit the like button, hit the bell notification, that will tell YouTube you're not a bot and they won't take it out. Because it's real frustrating. You get subs and then all of a sudden your numbers go right back down. I'm like, what in the world happened? Took me a long time to understand what happened.
Cool.
Do me a favor, Reckless. He says it's 500 grams though. No worries. Give me send me an email with it. Oh, by the way, I like the story that you sent me. I appreciate you sending me that over. That was really cool. He sent me a link on a story that a dad tells his kids when the kids find out about Santa. It's the way of kind of breaking it down to them. Really, really cool piece. So
Is that when Mommy was caught kissing Santa Claus?
No. This is like when you have a kid that finds out Santa Claus is real or isn't real, how to break it to him as a parent. It really, really cool. So I appreciate you sending me over that. That was neat.
Yeah, when a kid finds out that Santa Claus is real on Christmas and it has something to do with your wife, that's a scary thing.
You know what I like? I enjoy Christmas because I always like to learn what I bought the kids for Christmas.
I would tell you about the worst Christmas that ever happened with my wife and I. It was like you got to keep in mind, she's from Ukraine, and the two husbands that she had before she met me, they would buy her, they'd let her buy one thing, and that was it. I found that out when I took her to the motorcycle place, the Harley Davidson place, and she picked out a whole outfit, but she only expected me to tell her I buy one piece of apparel. Completely had a 5-year-old kindergarten fit. Whenever I told her she could have the whole outfit, that's when I found out about that. Anyway, so Christmas, same thing happened. First 2 Christmases, same thing happened. Around the 4th Christmas, I come home from work, and she says, I want to show you what I want for Christmas. So she brings me over to the internet and shows me all this online, this and that and that and this. And it was around, $1,800-ish. And I said, well, which ones do you want? She says, all of them. I said, really? You want all of them? Says, yeah, I just paid for them. I'm like, I was so mad at her. I was like, you just ruined it. I said, what did I ruin? I said, part of Christmas is being able to give something to someone they don't know what they're getting. I was fit to be tied.
Yeah,
She
not
bought
my
all the-
wife. My wife buys her own stuff.
with most of it came back. It didn't fit her. And then, for Orthodox Christmas, we went over to Dollywood and to Severesville and all that. And she'd already returned more than half of it because it didn't fit her. So we ended up going to a cowboy store, and it says, well, can I have this cowboy hat and the cowgirl boots? And yeah, but that'll be your Christmas present. Pay for it with the money that you got returned to you. And she did. But I'll tell you what, I found this nurse who crocheted immaculately. And believe it or not, the colors of the Ukraine flag and the colors of the West Virginia flag are the exact same colors. So I had this lady crochet this for me and put the Ukraine emblem on one side of the flag and West Virginia emblem on the other side of the flag. I had that in a box. I said, don't touch the box. Don't shake the box. You're not allowed to even take a guess what's in the box. So this is the one surprise I could figure out that you didn't do for yourself. Don't ruin the rest of Christmas for me. So she's to this day, I have to tell her because she no matter where I hide something, if I buy her something, I hide it, she finds it. And it's every time I say, okay, you found it, but you're not allowed to have it until your birthday or Christmas or whatever. OC Stacker, you're something else. So, but no, that's my wifely Christmas story.
Nice.
Which brings me to the question the three of us talked about when my wife called me on the phone. Want to put this up to the chat, see if how many people might like this as a topic. All three of our wives come from either Ukraine or Russia, and they were all there during the time when the Soviets were still in power, and when the Soviets had lost all their money, and what they did to the people. I propose that we get all three wives to show up on our channel as either an interview or a live stream or both, and they can tell their story about what happened to them when the government stole everyone's money. If you like that idea, put a 1 in the chat.
Yeah, I just saw that, Reckless. That's pretty cool, man. I might have to pick that thing up. That's a good looking piece.
Oh, he sent you something?
I'm down for the idea, Tiger. I don't know how. I'm not sure that I could get my wife on the tubes, but I like the idea.
Yeah, I talked to my wife about it. She said she might. She's a little bit concerned that everybody would want to understand her, but it's like, no, you're good. Looks like a ton of people are interested in that, so that might be something we need to do.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good lesson as to what governments will do when governments get desperate, including ours, by the way.
Exactly. Yes, we need to take that into account. Sadly,
but true. It's how many times is it said? Desperate governments do desperate things.
Oh boy. Yeah, the last thing you want to hear is we're from the government and we're here to help.
Ronald Reagan. Yeah, scariest words, 8 scariest words in government.
Language or something, did he say? Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. Well, hey, folks, if you want to, if Long Lived and Tiger, if you guys are up for it, we can come up with the next topic. We can continue. I'd like to take a break for a minute. I need to use the facilities, grab something to eat, and then we can continue here in about 30 minutes.
Okay, you gonna bring me some Starbucks?
Yeah, I'll bring you some Starbucks. I'm drinking something I normally don't drink, which is I'm not a sponsor, but it's a Rockstar. So thought I would try one. I'm not a big fan. There are stories that might make us appreciate what we take for granted. Oh, absolutely, OC. Yeah. Brought to you by Man Wipes. That would be the history of the world brought to you by Man Wipes. There you go.
Oh crap. That's
that would be a funny one. Oh, dude, that's hilarious. All right, so if you guys are up for it, give us 30 minutes. We'll start one back up. And like I said, I do need to take a break and get some stuff done. Are you guys up for it?
So do you want me to continue on with this live stream, or are we shutting this one down and bring a new one up?
I'll leave that to you guys.
I'm totally cool with just leaving this up. If
So
that
I'll
works for you.
I'll shut down my side because I want to separate. I want to do a different topic. I don't want to talk crypto anymore. And if
Okay,
we start
well,
talking that, we're going to lose people who want to see something else because
Well,
they'll come in to see crypto.
Yeah,
and
let's
be
just
like,
set up. Let's just set up a different one. Coming back.
okay,
Okay.
we'll do that. We'll shut down this one and set up another one.
cool beans.
Okay.
Cool.
Just let
All
me
right.
know what the
All right.
topic is.
Yeah, we'll stay on. We'll just end the stream.
Okay.
All right, folks. We'll see you later. Hey, Reckless, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see if we can't send you some more people and get you at that, get you closer to that 1,000 mark. So appreciate you stopping in, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.